Good evening, my name is Kreay, and today we'll be reviewing chapter 224 of Chainsaw Man, titled Moon, Spear, Spear. But before we get into it, I just want to remind everyone that Chainsaw Man, the Assassin's arc, was announced 2 days ago. We don't know if it will be a movie or a anime, but I did make a video about that yesterday, so you want to watch that, check it on that. But yes, it was announced, and this is a small poster of it. But let's get into the chapter review. The chapter starts off with Yoru explaining what she's going to do. She turns the American flag on the moon into a spear, and then she clarifies that she is going to turn the America's claim onto moon into a homing system, not the moon itself or not the moon's gravity, but America's claim of the moon into a homing system. And this pretty much made a lot of people wrong. A lot of people said the moon would become a devil, or people said she would turn the moon itself into a weapon, but that obviously didn't happen. People said that she would turn the flag into a spear or turn the flag into a weapon, and I said that wasn't going to happen, but I was wrong as usual when I'm reviewing this. So the spear comes crashing down to Earth, and Denji dodges it. But like Yoru said, she turned it into a homing system. So the spear is going to follow Denji until Denji gives up and loses. That's what Yoru says. It comes at Denji again, and he dodges, but it kills, or not kills, but it strikes the Lion Devil. And the Lion Devil says, Lady Yoru. And I think it's very interesting that the Lion Devil and maybe even other devils are calling Yoru Lady Yoru. And I just want to say that the Typhoon Devil called Reze Lady Reze. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not pretty sure, but I would guess that some other devils may have called Makima Lady Makima. I don't know. I do know that Falling Devil called Lil D Lady Death. So it seems like, I don't know, the horsemen or these female hybrids get called Lady in their name. I don't know. It's very interesting though, and I'm guessing it might have a reveal in the future or something. But I just want to say it's very interesting that he's calling her Lady Yoru. This is the second time the Lion Devil called her Lady Yoru, and it's the sixth or seventh time. Six, seven, six, seven, six, seven, six. All right, sorry. It's like the sixth or seventh time a devil is called a female lady in their name. But anyway, I'm sorry. All right, anyway. Yoru explains what the spear is doing. She says, stop running. The spear will home in on you until you accept defeat. Denji says, damn, and then he says, I had a light bulb moment. I'm a genius. School. And then Denji starts rushing to the school for some reason. Yoru then goes on a small monologue saying, use my friends as a shield and flee from me, you're lower than the devil. But if I get one glimpse of you yielding, then I win. And that serves you right. I like that. I like that her powers are being more explained and expanded on. So but it literally is like, literally it's that simple. If she perceives herself as winning, then you lose and she can turn you to a weapon. And she literally says, if I get one glimpse that you're giving up, then I win, which is very OP. But as Yoru is jumping building to building to get to the school where Denji is running to, she trips and falls. And she says, ow, why did I trip? I'm not Asa, which is low-key a shot at Asa. Then she realizes, or she doesn't realize, but we get to see she no longer has legs. And that's because Denji says, I forgot her name and face now, but the chick who flashed me her panties, ? And when I acted like I'd work with her. And I like that he specifies, he said, I'd acted like I'd work with her. When obviously in that moment, he was like, he definitely wanted to work with her. But he says, she gave me a whole bunch of devil pawns. And we get to see, if I turn the filter off, that yes, Death gave Denji, well, she didn't give him it, but she told him where a bunch of devil pawns were in the school for him to eat in the future. And that was, I assume, one of the plans that Death told to Denji that he was not listening to when he was looking at her panties. Then Denji once again states, give Asa's body back or I'll make a mess of your perfect world. And Yoru screams, stop it. Now I want to talk about a major thing that this panel reveals. And that goes along with a theory that I made about a video I made a few days ago about why there will be a Chainsaw Man Part 3. And it has to do with Denji vomiting death up. Now, I said in that video that on the day of Nostradamus, aka the school festival, the fear of death will reach its peak, and that will cause Nostradamus to happen. Obviously, this is way before the school festival right now in the story. It's like a month or a few weeks before the school festival. But we can see that Denji has already eaten the leg devil, and he's planning to eat a bunch more devils, which would mess up the world if Yoru doesn't give back the body. But we can assume that he's going to eat more devils and erase them. Also, side note, I like that this confirms that Denji Man can eat and erase devils. But anyway, so the point of the theory was death needs to be vomited back up either on the day of the school festival or prior to the school festival to cause Nostradamus, meaning Nostradamus' prophecy will still happen no matter what. The point being that this is not the final fight of Chainsaw Man Part 2. This is a major fight before the final event / final fight that happens in a few weeks to a month from now inside the Chainsaw Man universe. So what I'm trying to say is, obviously, death will be vomited back up. And that could either be later, like a few weeks to a month from now in the universe, or it can happen in this fight with Yoru. And obviously the leg devil will come back. So it's looking like something is going to happen to make Denji vomit up, potentially vomit up the leg devil and a bunch of other devils he may eat soon. Because obviously humans have to walk. So he's going to vomit up the leg devil, a bunch of other devils, and potentially even Barum and the death devil. So that would mean death would be, if it happens in this fight, death would be vomited up before the festival. Meaning something's going to happen before the festival or on the day of the festival that makes death reach its peak. Because as we know, the prophecy has not, I don't want to go on a rant, but the prophecy so far has not been wrong. So this all goes into my point that there most likely will be a Chainsaw Man Part 3. And death being vomited up soon because of what happens when Denji vomits up these devil pawns is going to cause that. But anyway, moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is that I'm worried about Asa, bro. Because Denji, the entire point of this fight has become, give Asa her body back, or I'm going to destroy your world, Yoru. And Yoru does not want to admit defeat. We have seen that she has a childish sense of wanting to be right and wanting to win and wanting to be victorious. And she will theoretically do anything for that. We've seen that she sacrificed the gun devil, or at least pieces of the gun devil, and the tank devil to get her arms back to beat Pochita. And when Asa questioned her on that, Yoru said children are their parents' property. So she has like a real twisted sense. And it's like, when Yoru hears Denji say this, she's heard him say it twice now, give Asa's body back, or I'm going to keep killing your comrades and ruin this world you want. Just nothing Yoru wants more than a world where she is feared and known above all else. And Yoru is basically effectively hearing that there's two things stopping her from that, and that is Denji. And the reason Denji is stopping her is because of Asa. And I've said it before that I'm worried because Asa, because Yoru can interpret this as, okay, that means I give Asa her body back and then I can beat Denji. Or she can interpret it as, I take over the body and kill Asa. And now Denji's fighting for no reason. Now, listen, I know death is gone. Like, no one can die. But that doesn't mean Yoru can't just take over the rest of the body. That technically isn't dying. That's just taking over the body fully. And Asa technically doesn't die, but Asa is completely controlled by Yoru, which is effectively a death for Asa. So listen, I don't know what's going to happen, but this gives me real bad vibes. People are clowning Yoru and saying, oh, she's a fraud, blah, 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 even though Yoru is not a fraud. I don't know why people would act like that, but I don't know. Asa is not she's not in the green yet, bro. Something bad can still happen. to Asa, and I don't know. I'm worried, but we will just have to wait and see. There is a break week next week, unfortunately. So January 6th is the next chapter, but hopefully we get something between on the break week to help us go over that break. But if you watched the video this far, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be.